6 weeks, 6 videos, hell ideas, a bunch of mistakes, and honestly, a new perspective on being an artist in today's world. When I started these YouTube videos, I honestly didn't know what it would turn into. I just knew I had to start. And now that we're here, I want to take a look back at everything so far and talk about what I learned. Creatively, emotionally, and personally. What up, family? I'm Samedi.noir, and I want to do some self-reflection on these past 6 weeks in the YouTube game. When I first came up with the idea of even doing YouTube videos, I had no clue where to even begin. This was completely uncharted territory for me. So I went to find help from none other than ChatGPT. This is my first time really using ChatGPT extensively for administrative purposes. I've used it in the past for different things, but I was never serious about it. I can't lie, using it for those administrative purposes and ideas, it kind of blew my mind. It gave me a full outline for a complete YouTube rollout plan, including scripting, shot suggestions, and even an upload schedule. If anything, it really allowed me to see the whole rollout from a big picture perspective in a comprehensive way that I could understand. And it also gave me some real actionable steps to take. I ain't gonna lie though, it tried to make me do like 2 videos a week, and that was not happening. This is already taking time away from doing music as it is, so I definitely had to do a whole lot of tweaking. But once everything was cool with me, there was really nothing left for me to do but execute. Actually seeing the whole plan laid out in front of my eyes like that really inspired me to just make a commitment to myself. I decided I'm just gonna give it a chance, 100%, and see it all the way through, regardless of the outcome, and just see what happens. Shooting and then dropping the first video was really the moment I stopped overthinking and just committed to the process. One of the biggest realizations these past 6 weeks is that the most meaningful parts of my creativity actually comes from a younger version of me. The kid who used to draw for fun, didn't worry about how something looked to other people, and just made stuff for the hell of it. Like, we go through life and take on all these new stresses and get caught up in our regular programming, and we forget about that version of ourselves. This YouTube project brought that part of me back to the forefront. Like, I literally had to sit still and recount all those memories of my high school computer lab, discovering that program, going home and finding Fruity Loops. That reminiscing process alone brought to light some core memories for me and sparked some crazy nostalgia. And by retracing those steps, I was actually able to really remember the feelings I had at the time. Honestly, that was one of the best parts. So, breaking down my visual aesthetic was actually pretty fulfilling for me. Even in my personal life, I oftentimes feel misunderstood, especially when I'm the type that's not too inclined to explain myself or explain some of the things I do creatively. I always carry this attitude where it's like, if you know, you know, if you don't, you don't, or even like, I'm gonna just give it to you and you just make your own interpretation. But it was low-key satisfying to be able to articulate my intentions behind some of the visual decisions I made for the aesthetic of samedi.noir. And also being able to link the emotional connection back to my childhood creativity. Like showing the drafting process of my logo and tying it back to zoning out in the classroom, I feel it added like a more human touch to the lore of the brand. The thing about aesthetics is that for any reason, be it external or internal, there may come a time when you want to change it or you need to change it. I feel like from the start, I've been constantly evolving, musically and visually. So I'm also glad that I was able to document that particular moment in my musical career and all the emotional and mental processes involved in coming to some of the decisions I made. I feel like it should be interesting to look back and watch that video and see where I was at the time. If anything, I'd say the most challenging video to record and edit was my creative process. And the challenge was on multiple levels: the transparency, the workflow, and the logistics of the shoot itself. See, I'm real private with my creative process because I feel like that's like a personal sacred space for me to tap into something that's deeper. And I feel like a lot of people wouldn't really understand the steps I take to get to a destination. It's kind of hard for me to grasp that people would actually be interested in seeing the messy, winding road that leads to a finished product, on top of really showing my lack of ability to play. Had to really convince myself to expose that level of vulnerability. And with the workflow, sheesh. Bruh. To be honest, I never know how long it'll take to complete a track. It could range anywhere from like a couple of hours to a week and a half, even before the revisions and listening to it in the car and then coming back to change the mix up. To tell you the truth, I'm not really trying to do speed runs or trying to force anything. I just try to keep it true to how I feel in that moment. So recording the process live really forced me to be a little more decisive. And the logistics of the shoot, man, that was enough of a challenge in itself. I felt like for that episode to be executed successfully, I needed to really use multiple camera angles. And that turned out to be such a headache, bruh. Man, I had certain limitations that I wasn't even aware of until I started shooting. For example, right? I did not know that one of my cameras had a 30-minute time limit to record. So there were a lot of steps in that process I missed. Holy shit! I was not recording, bruh! Damn! Shit! I had to shoot them over. And then having to switch camera angles mid-session really threw off my creative flow. But all in all, I actually like how that final video turned out. Not too sure if I'll do more of those beat videos though. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see for real. You know, before, I used to think that certain parts of my workflow were wrong or unprofessional. But on the real, your process is valid as long as it leads you somewhere honest. You don't have to create like everybody else creates. As long as it leads to somewhere that's true to you, you're good. I'm gonna be honest. I'm actually glad I started recording and dropping this YouTube content. It gave me a chance to really express the deeper meanings behind this whole samedi.noir universe. It gave me a chance to brush up on storytelling through visuals and editing, dust off some of those cobwebs. And I feel like it allowed y'all to get a little more up close and personal with the part of me behind the mask. But if I can be completely honest, it started taking focus away from the thing that birthed samedi.noir in the first place, which is the music. I'm not gonna lie to you, having to get used to shooting and then editing, which I do everything myself, it's put me a little behind on a lot of goals I had set for the music side of things. I mean, it felt good to be committed and see everything through with the weekly updates and the shorts, but I'm gonna have to be transparent. I'm not sure if I can keep up with that frequency every week, while also trying to work on these projects and meet deadlines on the music side. Not saying I'm gonna stop making videos, because I feel like these past few weeks gave me a pretty solid starting point. So I'm definitely gonna keep building on that foundation for sure. I'm just saying that it might not be as frequent as it was these past few weeks, and it'll be more so how I feel, or if I feel that there's something I need to express or get off my chest. But as of now, I really gotta get back to making this music, man, because that's really what started it all. So, if you've been here since the beginning, thank you. For real, for real. This 6-week run has been the foundation of something I plan to build out for a long time. Let me know in the comments which was your favorite video and what you want to see from me next. I appreciate y'all, family. I'm gonna see y'all on the next one.